Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and I wanted to make this message connecting with you guys about becoming a powerhouse of energy, becoming an electromagnetic kinetic source energy, but also becoming a field of energy, but becoming an energy of balance and tranquility, and a way of having undying love and compassion within yourself to see yourself not only manifesting the things that you want, but also projecting the things that you want, but also emulating the things that you want to be connected to, and as a way of representing who you really are in this moment. So the ability to emote that, the ability to connect into that and to vocalize that, and to meditate on top of that intention is the ability to open up to the new frequencies and the dimensions that are coming in, but also as a way of being guided by your intuition using the art of discernment, and as a way of discerning what is most in vibrational alignment for you and what is not most vibrationally in alignment for you, but seeing yourself as a temple of source. That's why I wore this shirt today. Is the ability of really connecting into the very fact that we have to see ourselves as a temple, as an energy, as a free source of energy, as a way of expressing that divine expression of sharing our messages and our connection, and the potential of opening up everybody and showing them the way, but also being a gateway and a portal and a sacred flame of creation so that everybody can see themselves in a different light. So as we are connecting into this, we're embracing our tenacity, our will, our divinity, our free will. So in this moment, we can see ourselves in a much different light and see the power of embracing the freedom of flow and symmetry and the initiation of something instead of just focusing on the thing that you do have planned. So sometimes it could just be an idea. Sometimes it could just be an emotion. Sometimes it could just be an essence of what you want to express and demonstrate, and not only heal within oneself, but to release and then to rejuvenate. In a sense, every single day, we just rinse and repeat within that grace of the divine source of connection as a way of flowing to our energy. So sometimes it's not about what choices you make or what you're trying to manifest or what you're trying to connect to, but sometimes it's about just initiating something that turns into something else completely. So let's just say that you're wanting to start a business, but then the business that you really wanted to start wasn't the business that you were supposed to get into, and you experience this whole other echelon of another business that you're supposed to connect to. Maybe you wanted to make certain branding or make certain t-shirts, but then you became a realtor. So sometimes it's the ability to just initiate something so that you're allowing yourself to seize the opportunities that courageously come to you as a way of reinforcing the I'm presence in the state of flow, in the state of symmetry, in the state of connection, so that you're not limited to a single breadcrumb trail of excitement, but you have access to billions of timelines and experiences and connections and manifestations and meditations as a way of connecting into your divinity to see yourself as a flow state, as a vortex of creation, but also seeing yourself as a container and a filter that you're able to flow towards your energy. So in this moment, it's not about what you're deciding, what you're focusing on, what you're connecting to. It's the very fact that you're choosing to connect. It's the very fact that you are meditating. It's the very fact that you are taking chances on yourselves and taking risk on yourselves and not playing it safe, but being bold and courageous to be a doer instead of a follower and instead of an observer. So you don't have to be an observer of creation, but you can be the embodiment of the creation that you want to connect to. You can be that channel of that connection. You can be the guided meditation if you really want to be. But it's the ability to see yourself in this moment as a powerhouse of free energy. It does not mean that you're just free to everyone, but it means that you're free, you're opened, you're connected, you're wanting more out of life and wanting more out of connection and wanting to find out something more transcendent outside of yourself so that you are focused on the nature of the sacral chakra, which helps you imbibe a different state of love, a different state of connection. So I pulled this card from Diana Cooper's new card deck, and it was about sexuality. And at first, it's a weird card to pull. So, but it means that sexuality is not just intercourse, but it's the love that we give to people. It's the service that we give to people. It's the way that we connect with people with a tender-hearted nature, and also having an undying love and a compassion and a life of service, and wanting to demonstrate that honor and integrity within every single aspect of our life. So when we have the ability to be honorable, to be content, to be connected, to emanate from this space, our whole reality changes because we're choosing to change with it. We're choosing to break the mold. We're choosing to break off the old connections, the old attachments, the old energies, the old ideas, and the old identifications, so that we're embracing a different sense of the ego in a sense. So it's a more purified state of ego. But it's not even an ego at some point, but it's a more different state of connection, because you're creating space so that you can create differently. And when you give yourself that bandwidth of creation, that state of connection that you want to be a part of, that way that you want to be in every single moment, you will always choose that existence, because that existence is the only way that you can connect in this moment. So in this moment, just open up, just be sincere and be authentic, and be a part of everything that you want to create and everything that you want to demonstrate. Because every time in this moment, when you choose to accelerate, it won't feel like acceleration, but it will feel as if you're in the present moment. It will feel as if you're just meditating for 30 minutes. It will just feel as if you are in a state of the dream world, of imagination, of a childlike wonder, but also it's a state of intention. It's a state of progression. And it's a free-flowing state of energy to become a spiritual powerhouse of free energy. So in this moment, allow yourself to live healthy, to live bold, to be prosperous, to take risks, to take a chance on yourself, and to don't settle for less. Because in this moment, a flame that burns in all of us, of passion, of glory, of distinction, and being unique in this moment. So everybody is not the same. We are all unique. We are all different. We are all interconnected and interwoven with the things that we want to become. You can become all of those things in this moment if you choose to be it, if you choose to flow to it, if you choose to be excited in this moment and not have to search for the excitement of that moment. That does not mean that you have to force yourself to be happy in a sense, because the happiness just naturally and intuitively flows, because it's not based on success. So it's not about all the material things that you manifest. It's not about all the things that you already have, or the clothes on your back, or the hat that you're wearing, or the necklace. It doesn't mean any of those things, but they are all representations of your divine exponents and your divine strands of consciousness that you want to be connected to. It wants you to know yourself. The I Am wants you to know thyself, to have acceptance towards thyself, and to accept everything here and now, and be so present to be alive and connect into everything that you want to be a part of. So in this moment, don't play it safe. Make the choices that you want to make. Live the life that you want to live. Be authentic to the core with no personal biases. If you don't have any personal attachments, any personal biases, any personal emotions, you will always be the intuitive investigator that wants to know more about itself. Because now we're opening up to other dimensions of energies, other states of connections, other maturations of energy and saturations of energy, so that we can initiate the transfiguration of source, the balancing of the energies, the scales, the realities, the circumstances, the experiences, coming full circle in this moment. So it's just the ability to know yourself as deeply and as transcendent as you want to be. And sometimes it's just taking it a little bit further, kind of pushing the envelope, being very edgy, and being absolutely rebellious towards anything that you don't want to experience. Be a rebel. Be expressive. Be descriptive. But don't put so much meaning on it, and don't put too much energy into it. Allow it to be easy. Don't allow it to be hard. I have in the past made it more hard, made it more grueling, made it more crazy in a sense. Don't make it crazy, make it simple, make it playful, make it fun. And when you make it fun and you make it playful and you don't try to take yourself so seriously, you will continue to flow to your energy, no matter what. Because guess what? You're coming from that absolute reality, that temple of source within yourself, and seeing yourself as that temple, and being able to be an energetic force field of electromagnetic kinetic source energy currents. And as that current is flowing, you are connecting to the motherboard of creation and becoming that universal receptor. Universally, you are universality, meaning that you are a light that shines from many different distances. And now you're not distancing yourself from the things that you want to be connected to. It means you will have this free state of energy that will allow you to exponentially and expediently always choose to quantum shift. You will always have quantum acceptance, and you will always have acceptance within yourself to flow to the energy that you want to be a part of. In this moment, you can choose to make the moment a state of current, a state of progression, a state of emulation, and a state of embodiment. When this happens, life will magically change because you're accepting overflowing abundance. Now, overflowing abundance does not mean that it's a physical thing, that it's a person, that it's myself, but overflowing abundance is receiving from the Shekinah glory of God's source energy and the great I am, and being able to ground into that. So the ability to accept overflowing abundance means that you don't stop the flow, you don't stop the current, you become unstoppable, and you become an immovable force of source energy, meaning you're coming from your state of channel, you're coming from the infinity that you want to become, but also you're accentuating the energies and confirming what you are and confirming what you are not. So therefore, there's a state where you know, I'm not this energy. It was funny because we went to the lottery retailer, and there was this man complaining, and we went to JC's, we went to the sandwich shop. He was complaining about paying 80 cents for cheese on his burger, but he wasn't even getting the cheese on his burger. But he was complaining about how others had to pay more because it made him feel bad because it was about the principle, right? But it's that minuscule thing could keep you from manifestations. And then that's a reflection within your reality to not be like that, to not complain about something, to not take yourself so seriously and feel a sense of entitlement that you were just unwilling to pay that 80 cents. It's just 80 cents, right? So it was just something very simple and something very minuscule that I noticed in my reality. And it was just like, we're going to go eat in our vehicle because we don't want to be around this energy. So you kind of see where the balancing of the scales and how people are healing and transcending and really seeing reflections and things that we need to work on as humans, as balancing our energies, our emotional energies. So it means that this state of intuition, this state of emulation, this state of connection and conviction is the ability to kind of discern that you can go wherever you want to go and be the light no matter what. It means that you can be this force field of energy. It means you can be higher, further, faster. So you can be that light. And if you allow yourself to always be higher, further, faster, you will always be ahead of your time. You will always be above it. You won't sink down below it, as above and so below, right? So to be bold, to be connected, means that we can see everything in our reality. And we can see the parts of reality that is an illusion. To see ourselves as an illusion, but also to see that we can't just cultivate a personality by trying to be a person. We have to take the person out of the equation in order to be the spiritual personnel, to be the spiritual personality, to be the presence of the channel, of the energy, of the state of resonance and connection. We have to then release the identification of mind, of ego, of vanity, of lust, of false pretenses and bias. So therefore, the only way to be your spiritual personality, let's just say that, is to take the person out of the equation. And you'll start to see that the person has nothing to do with it. The person that thinks is you, that feels like it's you, but it's not the real you, right? But this is when you come from your state of dimension. Now, most of us are shifting, obviously, in the mainstream of spirituality, we're shifting into the fifth dimension, right? But a lot of us are channeling from higher dimensions. Some of us are channeling from the 10th dimension, the 11th dimension. Some of us are from dimensions and planetary systems that we've never even seen, right? So all of us come from somewhere. We are finding our spiritual origination. But finding that balance within your life to see when you take the situations, the circumstances, the experiences, the person from yourself, the only person that is left is God. The only person that is left is you as one that is accepting source. It's not the you that we all assume ourselves to be. But it means that we're coming from a state of maturity, a state of love, a state of unconditionality, and a state of universality, being interdimensional and interwoven with the way that reality wants to revolve and evolve, in a sense. So we're evolving and not dissolving, in a sense. Maybe some of you are. I don't know your journey. But in a sense, what we're all trying to figure out and what we're all trying to connect to is a state of evolution, is a state of emanation, and a state of discernment. Opening up to the very fact that we're transcending everything in our lives, whether it's relationships, whether it's finances. Coming full circle means that we transcend all of it, even if we don't see it all at once. Meaning the heart of enlightenment. Maybe some of you have not reached that yet. I haven't reached it yet. I haven't seen it all. I've seen glimpses of it. But if one of you have seen it all, please call me. I'd like to hear about it. But I don't think if we all got there, if we all made it there, I don't think that the journey would mean as much as we want it to mean. But enjoy the ride, Enjoy the ride as it comes to you, as it presently comes to you, as it presently unfolds to you. Accept that overflowing abundance, accept life as it is, and be present towards it, and have this compassion within yourself to flow with life, to learn, to soak in, to gel, to let things gel, and to seize the opportunities. So all of us are starting over again as children. Some of you might want to learn judo. Some of you might want to read books. Some of you might want to attend certain meditation groups or things of that nature. Or some of you just want more happiness and peace in your life. But none of those things is just a part of life. But right now, what you can do is just be in the flow state. Just be here, just be now, just be connected, just be the power that you want to be. And then nobody can take that away from you. Just be the glory that you want to represent. Now, when we all try to find a reason to not be connected, that always makes us feel like there's an issue, like there's a problem, like there is something going on, something amiss. The only thing that is amiss is when we don't find that inner separation within ourselves to balance our energies, to find balance within this, to let myself take a nap if I want to take a nap, to allow myself to not just focus on my chores, but also allow myself to focus on my happiness, not to just focus on my success, having a pure state of balance. So most of us are balancing the sense of separating ourselves from the world that we live in right now. Some of you are discovering that your jobs are kind of meaningless. Some of you are discovering that your whole life you've been trying to find something to fill the void, and then you saw that in that moment, the only void that you had to fill is to accept the Spirit. Some of you have had many marriages, relationships, and you never understood why. You didn't understand why you were resetting the karma. Some of you probably still have messy moments, and I sometimes have them too still. But it does not mean that you're not loved. And it does not mean that there isn't grace for us all. And it doesn't mean that you're still awakening and kind of working out your kinks and your nooks and crannies and stuff like that, right? But we're all one. We're all unique. We're all going through this together and embracing the new dimensions and the new energies and the new state of psychic intuition as we are connecting to it. But no question is foolish. There are no mistakes. There are only happy accidents. And life can be as beautiful as you want it. You just have to allow it to be very beautiful. So, I want you guys to use this mantra. I was watching a movie last night called The Marvels, and I recommend people watch it because there's some really cool stuff in that movie. But there was this phrase that they used. It was called higher, further, faster. Higher, further, faster. Higher, further, faster. So whenever you're meditating, the next time you meditate, use that phrasing as your mantra. Because that's a state of simultaneity, that's a state of acceleration, that's a state where you can get into a prime state of connection very quickly. And that's what we're going to do with this energetic healing that I'm about to do. What's great about that phrase is because it reinforces the very fact that you can be connected higher, further, faster. To prime yourself, to recalibrate, to essentiate, and to rejuvenate. To recalibrate, to ground, to come back to life. The love, life, and way of the Oracle of Bloodline Wisdom. Very simple. So, and I also have some cards that I pulled earlier for myself, but I wanted to show you guys on this video. But we're going to do some healing energy. I also do lives around 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern, doing readings, healings, activations. I hope to see you guys there. Text me, email me on my TikTok to book private sessions. And also, my phone number is 727-404-6559, whitewolf143@icloud.com. Archangels of love and light, who's willing to cleanse us of our auric field, tapping into God's source energy and the great I am, diving deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth. Today we are going to activate the sacral chakra with a pink dusky energy, and we are going to allow ourselves to connect into a life of service, into a life of undying love, into a purity of releasing energy and processing, but also having a kind-hearted nature, having tenderness and compassion towards others, and living and not just focusing on the self, but all the selves in this moment. So seeing that we're activating this state of connection, this state of realization, and this state of emulation with our psychic intuition, archangels of love and light, who's willing to cleanse us of our auric field, tapping into God's source energy, and the great I am, diving deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth, and seeing ourselves as a temple of the divine, allowing ourselves to flow with the electromagnetic kinetic source energy currents, to pull in the DNA strands of consciousness, but also to elevate the energy and connect into the fifth dimension. That in every corner of our life, whether it's health, whether it's prosperity, whether it's our emotions or our relationships or our businesses that we want to manifest, no matter what it is, in this moment, we're tapping into universality to be able to shine from great distances, to enhance our cognitive abilities, and to also purify the state of our emotional guidance system as it comes to us. Being able to have the transfiguration of the soul so that we use this state of sexuality as a way of blending our masculine and feminine energies with the inner child here and now. So this means that We give love endlessly, we accept grace endlessly, and we see that by giving our lives to Source, we are able to have endless, infinite connection of integrated space of energy to become a spiritual powerhouse, to become a temple of Source, and to become a resourceful way of connecting everybody to their intuition. Archangel Michael is going to give us the sword of the Spirit, the shield of wisdom, the cloak of power, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, and the helm of salvation. Mary Magdalene is going to put an essential oil protection grid over our vessel. Billions of light codes are coming in very vastly, very strongly, and very purely as a way of reinforcing the particle accelerator, expanding into many different seeds of progress. And now we have Sasquatch coming through, helping us become interdimensional, helping us embrace our psychic intuition, embracing luminosity, embracing the psychic atomic energy that is here, but also to be able to connect to the monad, the I Am Presence, the 12 aspects of ourselves. That we learn from the Ascended Masters, that we are Ascended Masters, and that we are masters that choose ascend upon this journey as a way of bringing love, belonging, and showing up for others. Now we have the Kundalini energy coming through. The goddess Sophia and her dragons are going to give us a divine feminine, intergalactic transfusion of overflowing cosmic abundance. Jesus is going to help us become one with the Spirit. Being able to embrace all psychic intuition, but seeing ourselves levitating, seeing ourselves teleporting, and also seeing ourselves being able to see in the Spirit, to resonate within the astral planes of existence, and to see that we can make anything happen interdimensionally, interconnectedly, but also from a state of finding our spiritual personality. That we are taking the person out of the equation, that we are taking the ego out of the equation. That we're taking out all of the circumstances, all of the experiences. But in this brief moment, we are that 0-point creation that we want to become. And then that 0-point creation becomes a prophecy. to behold, to accept, and to be a part of. This helps us find our angelic presence. This helps us seek out our more ethereal side. And this helps us to cure blindness. And I'm not talking about a blindness in terms of physical. I'm talking about a spiritual blindness. To be able to see without seeing. To be led by faith and not by sight, in a sense. So in this moment, we are accepting a full state of connection, but also we're transcending the human conditioning in this moment for the next 6 months. So feel as if you have a tree of life, a soul tree, even soul tribe, even guides, even your loved ones. And feel as if there's little notes on this tree. And whatever you write on these notes, you hang them back on the tree, you fold them, you wrote down anything that you wanted, and you just left it there. You let go of the energy and the attachment of it. You detached completely. The winds of change are among us. There is a great harvest to behold, meaning that so much is coming through in terms of intuition, grace, leadership, different components of energies, different energetic signatures, but also a different way to live your life completely. But it's tapping into the river, in a sense. It's tapping into the river, but it's tapping into different causes that generate different effects. Therefore, we're going to live ecologically and in harmony here in this moment by generating a new age, a new dimension, a new interstellar of energy, a different constellation of stars. And when this happens very graciously. This happens within demonstration, within a way to connect and to reflect the heart of nature. To see that everything grows and everything changes within the seasons. But no matter what, if it's a sunny day or a snowy day, we don't lose our joy. We don't lose our connection. We don't lose sight of who we are. But the essence has always been here. It's just been waiting for us to accept it. Right here, right now, we're going to recite these 3 words. Higher, further, faster. Higher, further, faster, higher, further, faster, higher, further, faster, higher, further, faster. Higher, further, faster. Everyone take one last deep breath. Exhale. So that was the energetic healing for today. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. Okay, so now I wanted to show you guys these cards which kind of like help me feel this life. So I got a new book that's coming. It's called The 48 Laws of Power. I'm really going to enjoy reading that. But I wanted to show you guys, I always talk about the electromagnetic kinetic source energy, right? And I always talk about Temple of God. So this is kind of what we are as particle accelerators. This is the electromagnetic currents, and also this is the energy that goes around us for protection, but also a state of different emulation in a sense. But see, we're becoming free energy. We're becoming this, exactly this imagery is showing us what we are, showing us what we're connected to, and showing us that we are an embodiment of source energy. So, manifesting civilizations in a sense, right? So becoming leaders, becoming teachers, becoming people who showcase love, but also living within many different galactic counterparts, meaning that some of us are living off planet already. Some of us have different lives like this already on this planet, past, future, and present. And we're all existing in this way. So this is what we're also manifesting within the 3D. So live ecologically and harmoniously. And then when I started on the journey, I started reading books, I started educating myself. I've been really listening to Alan Watts. He was very far ahead of his time, and I've been listening to him recently. And these cards are also by Diana Cooper. You should check her out. But so education, expand your right brain creativity. So meaning, don't be afraid to learn something, don't be afraid to try something, and don't be afraid to connect to things. So, and also one of these cards fueled this live. And at first I pulled this card and I wasn't going to do a video on it, but I ended up doing a video on it on my TikTok. You can check it out. But it's sexuality, express pure love. And when I read the explanation on the book, it really talked about using the energy of our sacral chakra and envisioning it with a pink energy of expressing service, expressing tenderness to a child, to an animal, to your spouse, to your wife, or anyone that you're being of service to have an undying love, but to have compassion, but also to express that in many different ways and to connect to people, not just seeing it as like intercourse, but seeing it as a state of reality, to see it as a state of service, to see it as we all are connecting to one another and expressing this, but also finding some reason and some logic also at the same time by migrating into the expression of it. So exponentially, we are helping people connect because we are giving a service, we're sharing a service, and we're trying to vocalize that. So that's what the video was about. So thank you guys. God bless. This is White Wolf. Thank you so much for being a part of this live. I will go live around 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern to connect with you guys. Doing readings, healings, activations. I have a private session special, 30 minutes for $65, 45 minutes for $95, 1 hour for $130. Text me, email me on my TikTok, 727-404-6559. whitewolf143@icloud.com is my email. So thank you guys. God bless. Namaste. I do 2 lives every day, so if you catch these lives anytime, feel free to watch them and feel free to connect to them. Thank you, and God bless.